Most of you do know. But if you don't, I was blocked by Ryan Reynolds. Yes. So Joe Rogan just entered the chat, and he is Team Justin Baldoni.
Joe Rogan just slapped Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds with the truth and officially joined Team Justin Baldoni. Everyone's seeing through their blame game now.
And it's absolutely absurd, and it's not going to work.
Rogan called them out hard, demanding they stop the dirty tactics that are wrecking Justin's mental health and tearing his reputation to shreds.
She's using it to assert control over Justin Baldoni, destroy his life. Essentially, it was destroying his family, his health, and everything else.
Joe Rogan just entered the damn chat, and I've never seen a man come in swinging harder for justice. Yes, Mr. Alpha Microphone himself, the godfather of podcasting, is Team Baldoni, and he's not even trying to play it cool. We're talking about the guy with 14.5 million Spotify listeners, 16.4 million YouTube subscribers, and 18.9 million Instagram followers. That's not just an opinion, that's a damn public execution. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, they messed up. That's not me saying it, that's Joe freaking Rogan.
This is what you get. You're trying to fucking ruin a guy's livelihood by using the Me Too movement.
Because they were trying to take over the movie.
Yeah.
They were trying to take over the movie and the whole franchise. He owned the franchise.
They're fucked.
The whole thing's crazy.
They're fucked.
And he's suing the New York Times.
And this wasn't some cryptic Hollywood shade. Rogan flat out said that Blake and Ryan tried to weaponize sexual harassment allegations. Not to protect anyone, not to support survivors, but to control the movie. Control the movie. Yeah, real feminist icons? You'd think they were out here marching for rights when in reality, they're trying to hijack a whole damn production like it's Ocean's 14, the entitled heist.
That it's a bunch of fabrication and lies, and then you see the control that she took over the movie. And I just don't see how any of these reporters are coming to that conclusion other than they are just trying to meet some type of agenda.
Rogan's tone wasn't even subtle. You could feel the disgust in his voice. And let's be honest, when Joe Rogan goes off on someone, it's not like whispering behind a curtain. It's like shouting into a megaphone while the entire internet listens in. The man helped flip the narrative in the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard case. And now he's looking straight at this Lively Reynolds disaster and calling BS. Because that's what it is.
But that's what it takes.
That's what it takes.
It's like Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
He's like, all right.
Yeah.
He did it for the boys.
Exactly. You got to do it.
You need real motherfuckers to be like, nah, man, I ain't going out like this.
Yeah, especially a guy like that. It was like known as being like this really sweet, nice guy.
Yep.
A Royal Hollywood BS fiesta, where somehow a sweet, calm, nice guy like Baldoni ends up painted as the villain, while two overhyped A-listers throw tantrums behind NDAs and legal threats. Let's not sugarcoat this. The double standard is disgusting. When Blake cries wolf, suddenly every outlet listens. But when Baldoni, a man with actual receipts, tries to defend himself, people hesitate. Nah, not anymore. Not with Rogan blowing this whole thing wide open.
And then it's like, all right,
Dude,
enough.
he posted the receipts.
Oh,
He's
the
like, oh,
receipts are
remember our
crazy.
text exchange? Bah, bah,
How about she
bah,
told
bah.
him to come into the dressing room while she was breastfeeding?
And speaking of Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, Mint Mobile Daddy, Aviation Gin Poster Boy. Wow, what a fall from grace. Rogan went in on him too, and let me tell you, it was beautifully brutal. He called out Reynolds as a central player in this mess. Apparently, Ryan's trying to backpedal now, acting like he didn't know what was going on. Oh, really, Ryan? You just accidentally ended up in a $400 million lawsuit? You tripped, spilled some gin, and fell face first into legal hell? Come on.
Blake Lively, talk about ruin your reputation, and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, they fucked up. Ryan's trying to get out of it now. He's trying to get out of the lawsuit. And they're like, you are a key part of this.
This is what you get, though.
Rogan roasted him without even raising his voice. He straight up said Ryan's trying to dip out of the lawsuit, but they're not letting him. Why? Because, and I quote, "You are a key part of this." That's what you get, man. You try to play puppet master with people's careers. You try to ruin a man's life using movements meant to protect real victims. And then you act shocked when the house of cards falls on your head. Give me a break.
Baldoni, Blake Lively thing.
Bro, Blake Lively, talk about ruining your reputation, and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, they fucked up. Ryan's trying to get out of it now. He's trying to get out of the lawsuit, and they're like, you are a key part of this.
This is what you get, though. This is what you get. You're trying to fucking ruin a guy's livelihood.
It's not just Rogan saying it. Brendan Schaub, who was on the podcast, called out the same thing. He flat out said Reynolds and Lively were trying to use #MeToo as a career weapon. And Rogan was like, yes, 100%. No hesitation, no playing both sides. And here's the kicker. Rogan compared Baldoni to Johnny Depp. That's huge. That's not just about defending a man. That's about rewriting the narrative that Hollywood manipulators like Blake and Ryan tried to control.
He owned the franchise.
They're fucked.
The whole
man.
thing's crazy.
They're fucked.
And he's suing the New York Times, and he's got a great case
He's going
there,
hard in
too.
the paint. But
He
that's
should.
what it takes.
That's what it takes.
It's like Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
He's like, all right.
Oh, and Ryan's image? That cute, self-aware, sarcastic guy we all loved in Deadpool? Yeah, that's dead. He's not Deadpool anymore. He's dead wrong. He's blocked pool. He's soft shell avocado toast with a marketing team. That relatable guy shtick doesn't fly when you're trying to bury a man under fake allegations while your wife does her best Cruella de Vil impression behind the scenes.
They just never thought that anybody was going to come out with the receipts.
Because no one's ever done it. Because everyone just bows
Because everyone's
down.
scared.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Reynolds A-list, Blake Lively A-list. Like, don't, they're the queen
Oh,
of the
look,
king.
And now let's talk about the receipts, because this is where Rogan just unleashes the facts like a firestorm.
Van City Reynolds, who has blocked me, so I can still view his stuff. I just can't post anything. You see, guys, it's all grayed out. Look at that. My feelings are really hurt.
Justin Baldoni isn't just sitting there taking this crap. He's fighting back like a damn warrior, with receipts that make Lively and Reynolds look like amateurs in a courtroom drama they tried to direct but forgot to write a script for. We're talking a full-blown website, text messages, voice notes, and behind-the-scenes footage, all showing that Lively's story is falling apart faster than her husband's Twitter following.
He's like, oh,
She's
remember our
crazy.
text exchange? Bah, bah,
How about she
bah,
told
bah.
him to come into the dressing room while she was breastfeeding?
Let's just pause here and talk about one specific piece of evidence because it's so hilariously damning, I can't even handle it. Blake accused Baldoni of walking into her trailer while she was breastfeeding. You know, playing the whole, he violated my space card. But guess what? She texted him to come in. Yeah, literal, written proof. She invited him. This is next level clownery. You can't cry wolf after sending the wolf a VIP invitation and directions.
Told him to come into the dressing room while she was breastfeeding.
They're fun
And then
as.
part of the complaint was that he came into the dressing room while I was breastfeeding. Like, you literally have a text exchange back and forth.
Rogan highlighted that moment with pure disbelief. You could hear it in his voice. Like, are they actually serious with this stuff? The Hollywood elite has gotten away with this for so long, they genuinely didn't think someone like Baldoni would clap back.
They're fun
And then
as.
part of the complaint was that he came into the dressing room while I was breastfeeding. Like, you literally have a text exchange back and forth. They just never thought that anybody was going to come out with the receipts.
Because no one's ever done it. Because everyone just bows
Because everyone's
down.
scared.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Reynolds A-list, Blake Lively A-list.
They thought he'd just curl up and disappear. But nah, not this time. This isn't some quiet backdoor NDA resolution. Baldoni pulled out the whole damn war chest. Texts, voice memos, footage, a website. Who drops a website in the middle of a lawsuit? A man who knows he's been set up and is ready to burn it all down. Rogan made it crystal clear. This wasn't a he said, she said. This was a she said and he pulled the receipts situation. And the best part? They weren't prepared. They thought the Hollywood PR machine would shield them. They thought their A-list armor was bulletproof. But guess what? Facts don't care about your Vanity Fair cover. Rogan literally said that they never thought anyone would show the receipts. Because no one ever does. Because everyone's too scared of Blake and Ryan. I mean, who wants to go up against the Hollywood prom king and queen? But Baldoni did, And now they're flailing it, blocking people on social media, silencing brand accounts, and getting shredded online by fans who are sick of the hypocrisy.
I was blocked by Ryan Reynolds. Yes. Predator Pool himself blocked me. I don't know when he blocked me. I don't know if it's when I exposed on X what happened with his daughter in Deadpool and that abhorrent things that they made her do.
Justin Baldoni didn't just clap back. He loaded a legal cannon and fired it straight into the Hollywood elite. We're talking about a $400 million lawsuit. Not 4 million, not 40, $400 million. You know what kind of damage that number does? That's not just a lawsuit, that's an industry-wide earthquake. And guess who's at the center of it? Blake. Professional victim Lively, Ryan. I swear I'm innocent Reynolds, and their PR puppet master, Leslie Sloan. This trio thought they were playing 4D chess. Turns out Baldoni was holding the rulebook and the receipts.
It's whiny, it's bratty, and it needs to end. So to that I say, thank you to Blake Lively.
The lawsuit covers defamation, extortion, false light invasion of privacy, promissory fraud. Basically everything you'd expect from a Hollywood power grab gone wrong. This isn't just "you hurt my feelings" legal fluff. These are real scorched earth charges. And Baldoni's not playing games. Rogan looked at the whole thing and called his legal strategy solid. And coming from Joe, that's saying something. This man doesn't throw compliments unless they come with a protein shake and a punchline.
This is an amazing support that Justin is now getting from Joe Rogan on this case, and it's going to continue to get ugly as more things come out.
But here's the real kicker. Baldoni is also suing the New York Times for their hilariously one-sided coverage. Apparently, even the so-called paper of record couldn't resist simping for Blake and Ryan. Journalism is dead, folks, and Baldoni just brought the shovel. The strategy is simple. No backroom deals, no hush-hush settlements. Just drag every slimy little detail into the light, back it up with documented proof, and let the public roast the frauds like marshmallows at a campfire. If this lawsuit lands, it looks like it might, we're looking at a complete shift in how Hollywood handles its dirty laundry. No more false accusations getting swept under the rug. No more PR spin taking down people without a single verified fact. This could be the case that finally breaks the system, or at least embarrasses it so hard it pretends to behave for a while.
She told the composer that she brought in when the other one was fired that she wanted let go, allegedly because Taylor Swift wanted him let go.
Now, let's talk about Blake Lively's little dictatorship. Because wow, this woman went full Game of Thrones on a romance movie. The way she took over It Ends With Us wasn't just unprofessional. It was straight up cartoon villain behavior. She wasn't just the star. She allegedly decided to fire people, replace crew, and block Baldoni, the actual director, from seeing his own footage. That's not acting. That's a hostile takeover. She didn't want to be part of the film. She wanted to own it.
She basically called him and said that she has moved into the role of taking control of the movie and finishing it and doing the whole movie.
And she got a PGA credit out of it. Producer status. You know what that means? She had real pull. Influence over casting, editing, access, all of it. But the cherry on top? A composer literally said that Blake herself called him and said, "I'm running the film now." This woman took over like she was directing a Marvel movie and not some Nicholas Sparks knockoff. But somehow, she still expects us to believe she's the innocent little flower getting trampled by mean men in suits? Get real. The irony is so thick you could cut it with Reynolds' aviation gin bottle. Blake filed harassment claims like she was some helpless on-set extra. Meanwhile, she was running the place like a power-tripping CEO. When someone has the authority to fire staff, control the edit, and keep the actual director locked out of the loop, that's not a victim, that's a damn boss. But sure, let's all cry for poor Blake while she's out here calling shots like a mob boss in heels.
Mr. Reynolds was a key player in the scheme, defaming Justin around Hollywood, strong-arming WME, their agency, into dropping Justin as a client and trying to destroy Justin's career however possible.
And Ryan? Ryan was there for all of it. He's not some clueless bystander. He's attached to the lawsuit, He's allegedly neck deep in this mess, and his silence speaks louder than his Mint Mobile ads. If he didn't like how things were being handled, where was the statement? Where was the accountability? Oh, right. Busy blocking critics on social media like a fragile man-child with a Wi-Fi signal.
She's opened up about the fact that she struggles for equality, all of the struggles that she faces on behalf of trying to stand up as a woman.
Now, here's where it really gets spicy. The feminism card. Rogan called it out hard, and rightfully so. We're watching a Hollywood power couple twist a legitimate social movement into a personal weapon. It's not about safety. It's not about justice. It's about control. Rogan isn't saying all accusations are fake. Far from it. But he's pointing out the selective outrage. Blake makes a claim, and suddenly the world stops. But when evidence surfaces proving it's BS, crickets.
It's just disgusting. But as more and more evidence has come out, you're seeing more people are siding with Justin Baldoni.
It's wild how quickly the media just ran with her version. No cross-checking, no fact verification, just Blake said it, so it must be true. Meanwhile, Baldoni's out here dropping screenshots, recordings, video clips, and somehow he's the one being questioned. Make it make sense.
But I'm grateful that she's going through this because it's making a lot of people question what, in fact, modern feminism has become.
And let's talk about this new brand of feminism they're pushing. The believe all women, no matter what the facts say kind. The delusional, performative nonsense that lets celebrities cry foul and instantly become saints. That's not feminism. That's manipulation wrapped in hashtags. Even actual feminists are stepping back and going, wait, hold up, we're not defending that.
I think even feminists will agree that you can't just believe someone because they make accusations, especially once the evidence shows that it's a bunch of fabrication and lies, and then you see the control that she took over the movie. And I just don't see how any of these reporters are coming to that conclusion other than they are just trying to meet some type of agenda.
Rogan and content creators like Dave Neal and Andy Signor are being called misogynistic just for asking questions. Since when is journalism misogyny? Since when is fact-checking an act of hate? It's pathetic. The moment you even doubt Blake's story, you're suddenly labeled as the enemy. That's how they keep control. It's not about gender anymore. It's about power and image. And Blake and Ryan are trying to hoard both.
To the point of misandrous, to the point where content creators, as you guys have seen, are being criticized as misogynistic just because we don't believe Blake Lively.
Let's just say it plain. This is not empowerment. This is reputation assassination. And Blake Lively is holding the sniper rifle while Ryan wipes the fingerprints off the bullets. They took a movement that's meant to help survivors and used it to fuel their Hollywood ego trip. And now that it's blowing up in their faces, they're pretending to be shocked. They didn't expect Rogan to speak up, they didn't expect Baldoni to fight back, and they sure as hell didn't expect receipts to flood the internet. They thought the believe me because I'm famous strategy would keep working. Well, not this time.
So over Ryan Reynolds. Enjoy it while it lasts, my good man. Cancel culture is sneaking up on you.
Ryan Reynolds really fumbled the bag, didn't he? The man went from beloved fan favorite to a full-on Hollywood villain in what feels like record time. It's honestly impressive how fast the public turned on him. Deadpool fans, Mint Mobile customers, even comic book shop owners are basically tossing him in the recycling bin. Imagine being so fake that nerds who've worshipped Deadpool for a decade are now burying your merch in the basement like it's radioactive.
All that money earned on the line for all the cases filed against for stealing another man's movie.
And don't even get me started on Reddit and X. The digital pitchforks are out, and they're not letting this one go. One user literally said, "You buried your career like that movie." Like, damn. That one comment alone hit harder than any of the fake barbs Reynolds tosses around in interviews.
And Deadpool fans are done with Ryan Reynolds.
And it's not just random trolls either. This backlash is coming from longtime fans who actually bought into his whole funny guy with a heart of gold act. But now that act is over. The curtain dropped, and behind it, a hypocritical, power-drunk Hollywood clown who tried to help bulldoze a man's career while playing the victim's husband.
Deadpool rocks. You and your wife, however, are complete garbage humans.
Even his brands are hiding. Mint Mobile and Aviation Gin. You know, the brands he plastered his smirking face all over like the second coming of Don Draper. Went private. Like full-on, oh no, don't look at us mode. That's the PR equivalent of running from the cops in Crocs. If your brand's identity is literally you, and you suddenly need to duck for cover, maybe the problem isn't haters. Maybe the problem is you. One creator put it perfectly. Everything they wanted to happen to Baldoni is now happening to them. And that's not just poetic justice. That's karma showing up with popcorn. Blake and Ryan tried to destroy a man with false allegations, thinking the media would roll out the red carpet like always. Instead, Joe Rogan walked in, flipped the narrative like a damn pancake, and now the internet is watching them choke on the same lies they tried to feed us.
There's a number of guys who are speaking up about this, but by and large, I would say it's mostly women. And men haven't really entered the chat in the way that I think if they understood the merits of this case, they understood the false allegations of sexual harassment.
Now we've got to talk about Blake, Queen Gaslight Lively, and her legal gymnastics. Because here's the $1 million, scratch that. $400 million question. Was she even legally a victim under California law? Let's break it down. Blake filed harassment claims like she was a helpless contractor. Boo-hoo, poor me, I'm just a delicate actress being oppressed on set. But plot twist. She was also wielding producer-level control the entire time. Firing people. Replacing entire departments. Blocking Baldoni from doing his job. That doesn't sound like a powerless employee. That sounds like a boss on a power trip.
She got a PGA credit, and she essentially took control of the movie. She fired people. She brought in her own team. She did all types of things. She blocked Justin Baldoni from seeing footage, from finishing the movie.
Now, under California labor law, even contractors get harassment protections. That's true. But here's where things get messy. Blake wasn't acting like a contractor. She was acting like she owned the damn studio. She got herself a PGA credit and apparently made it very clear to people on set, including the composer, that she was running the film now. If that's not employer behavior, I don't know what is. Her lawsuit even cited things like tone, sarcasm, and negative energy as retaliation. I'm sorry, what? Did we accidentally walk into an HR seminar run by toddlers? That's what you're calling workplace abuse now? Someone had a tone? What's next? Suing someone for rolling their eyes during a meeting? This is petty mean girls energy dressed up in legalese.
She told the composer that she brought in when the other one was fired that she wanted let go, allegedly because Taylor Swift wanted him let go.
Rogan and others have pointed out the real kicker. If Blake was the one deciding who could access footage and who was essential personnel, then she had more power than Baldoni, the freaking director. So again, who was harassing who exactly? Because from where we're sitting, it looks like Blake was using her fake victim status to cover up the fact that she turned the set into her personal kingdom.
With that, he said in an interview that she basically called him and said that she has moved into the role of taking control of the movie and finishing it and doing the whole movie.
And if the court agrees, if the judge takes one look at that PGA credit, those call logs, those emails, and goes, then her entire legal house of cards collapses. The harassment claim gets obliterated. The lawsuit looks like retaliation, not protection. And suddenly, she's not a brave woman speaking out. She's a powerful executive trying to silence the guy she pushed out of the picture. But hey, Blake's always been good at playing pretend, right? Now, here's the part where Rogan didn't just participate. He flipped the script. His podcast didn't just defend Baldoni. It changed the entire narrative. What Blake and Ryan tried to keep behind closed doors is now being blasted out to millions of people every day And not just gossip junkies. We're talking dads, gym bros, hunters, truckers, average men who never watch celebrity drama. Now they know the names, the receipts, the shady details.
I think more men would be more outraged than the women are. But right now, women, by and large, are holding this. But this can turn the tides.
Rogan took the carefully crafted PR illusion and burned it to the ground with a single podcast episode. While Lively and Reynolds were busy curating their next Vanity Fair photo shoot, Rogan said, "Nah, let's talk about the real story. The one with texts, proof, and a man getting slandered." And now we're watching it happen. This moment, it's like the Depp versus Heard switch. That exact second where the underdog turns the tide and people realize the victim wasn't who they thought it was. Baldoni, quiet and kind, is suddenly looking like a truth-slinging warrior. And Blake and Ryan, Hollywood's picture-perfect power couple, they're starting to look like two PR-obsessed snakes with a script and a smear campaign. But here's the best part. Baldoni's not doing this alone. His courage, backed by actual hard evidence, is giving other men the strength to stand up when they've been falsely accused. It's like someone finally punched a hole in the Hollywood lie bubble, and now the whole thing is deflating. And as for Blake and Ryan, this might just be the start of their fall. Because in a town built on illusion, the second the truth gets out, the whole tower comes crashing down. This isn't just some petty Hollywood drama anymore. This is a public takedown, and Rogan has loaded the cannon.